Hello everyone, this is Varun from En route IAS. In the previous video, I had covered the classical dance forms of India. Now, in this video, I will be covering the various folk dances that are performed in India and are famous in India. Now, let us start with the folk dances. So, first of all, let us see what is the difference between a folk dance and a classical dance. Folk dances are spontaneous, while in the case of classical dances, there are rules that are set for every step that is being performed. Even the costumes have rules. But in case of folk dances, there are no such rules. So they are usually spontaneous dances. Now, secondly, coming to the sect of people who perform the folk dances. So folk dances are usually confined to a very small area, to a small region. Whereas in case of classical dances such as Kathakali or maybe Kathak, you have seen that they are performed throughout a big region. For example, Kathakali is performed throughout Kerala as well as some parts of Tamil Nadu also. But in case of folk dances, you will see that they are usually confined to a very small sect of people. Thirdly, for classical dances, an exhaustive training is required to be taken. But in case of folk dances, you don't need a formal training, and usually you don't have schools for such formal training. It is usually just passed on from one generation to another, and you learn the dance from your peers. But no formal training is usually there for the folk dances, though now with time some schools have come up, but as such no big institutions are there that will teach you the folk dances. Now let us directly move on to the dances. So the first dance form which we will be discussing is Chow dance. Before moving on to the discussion, let us just have a look at the picture. So what is the peculiar thing about this picture? The peculiar thing is the mask that has been worn by the performers. So do remember that we had discussed such kind of facial mask in case of Kathakali also. But that was a classical dance and this is a folk dance. So if in the exam it's asked in which of the following dances is the mask worn, then do look at the word if it's asked about classical dance or the folk dance. If it's a classical dance, it has to be Kathakali, but if it's a folk dance, it has to be Chau dance. Now, from where does this word Chau come? The word Chau comes from the word Chaya. It's mainly performed in eastern India in three states, that is Jharkhand, Odisha, and West Bengal. So there are different forms of Chau that are being performed in these three states. The first is Saraikela Chau, that is performed in Jharkhand, Purilia Chau, that is performed in West Bengal, and Mayurbhanj Chau is performed in Odisha. Now, one thing important, that is it uses martial movements to narrate the mythological stories. So it might be asked that which of the following dances uses martial movements. So you must remember that Chau is one of those dances which uses martial movements. Some of the different kind of themes that are used is Sarp Nitya. Sarp is basically Hindi term for snake. So from that word it comes Sarp Nitya. So snake dance is Sarp Nitya. Secondly, the second dance is Mayur Nitya. So Mayur is the Hindi term for peacock, and the peacock dance is called Mayur Nitya. One very important point in this thing is that Mayurbhanj Chau does not have mask. So the pic that I have given below, it can be Jharkhand Chau, Saraikela Chau, or Purulia Chau, but it cannot be Mayurbhanj Chau. So an examiner can ask you that in which of the following Chau dances is no mask used. So Mayurbhanj Chau has to be remembered. One important thing about this dance is that it was incorporated into UNESCO list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity in 2011. So this makes this dance very important, and it can be definitely asked in the exams, and there are high chances that this question can be asked in the exam. Now coming to the next dance form, that is Garba. So Garba is performed in Gujarat during the Navratra festival. Secondly, Garba term came from the word Garba Deep. Garba Deep is basically a earthen pot which has holes in it and a lamp is kept inside it and the women dance around it. So on the left side you can see women performing Garba, and on the right side is the Garba Deep. Now the question that can be asked in the exam is, first of all, in which state is Garba performed? That is Gujarat. And the second question that can be asked is that in which of the following dances an earthen pot is used and the women dance around it. So you must remember that earthen pot is used in Garba and it's performed in Gujarat. Now coming to the next dance, which is mainly performed in West. The dance is Dandiya Ras. So you must have seen the television many times men and women do a dance with sticks. So this dance is basically Dandiya Ras. It is mainly performed in Gujarat and Rajasthan. In the earlier dance, that is Garba, we have seen that it is performed mainly in Gujarat. But in case of Dandiya Ras, you must remember that it's performed in Rajasthan also. So this thing is very important. Secondly, this dance represents a mock fight between Durga and Mahishasura. So remember this thing, that this dance is nothing but a mock fight between Durga and Mahishasura. Now just let us just have a look at the dance. So you can see over here people have sticks in their hand and they are dancing. So this is all about Dandiya Ras. Now coming to the next dance form, that is Ghumar. So before discussing the dance, just let us just have a look at the pic. So can you see this pic? You all must have seen the movie Padmavat, and this scene is from the movie Padmavat, and this is Deepika Padukone performing this dance Ghumar. So you can easily associate Ghumar with Rajasthan now. This dance is also called Gangor, and it's performed by the Bhil tribe in Rajasthan. Remember this thing, that this dance is performed by Bhil tribe. This tribe is very important because there will be another dance from Rajasthan that is performed by another tribe. So Ghumar is performed by Bhil tribes, and this dance is also called Gangor. Prominence of a dress called Ghagra. You must see in this pic that Deepika Padukone has worn a very nice dress, and this dress is called Ghagra. So in Ghumar, Ghagra is a very important part. Second is the Bhil tribe, and third, this dance is called Gangor. Now coming to next dance form, this dance is Kalbelia. This dance is also from Rajasthan. Now before discussing the dance, let us just have a look at the pic of the dance. So as you can see over here, there are two peculiar things. One is the instrument that is being played by the musician. This instrument is called bean in Hindi. This is an important part of this dance. Second is the serpent type of costume that has been worn by the performer. So these two things are very important in this dance form. That one is bean, and the second is the costume that is in the form of a serpent. The women of the Kalbelia community in Rajasthan performed this dance. We had earlier seen that the Ghumar dance of Rajasthan was performed by the Bhil tribe. So remember this thing, that Ghumar will be performed by the Bhil tribe, Kalbelia by the Kalbelia community of Rajasthan. The second thing that is important is the costume and dance is similar to that of a serpents. So the movement that is made by the performers is also similar to that of the snakes. Secondly, the costume, as already discussed, is similar to the snakes. The third thing, the bean. Bean is used in the dance, and it's an integral part of this dance form. The most important thing about this dance also, that this dance was also added to the UNESCO list in 2011. Same was the case with Chow dance. So remember that both these dances, Chow and Kalbelia, were added to UNESCO list in 2011. Now let us move from Rajasthan to Punjab. So two important dances of Punjab are Bhangra and Giddha. Now let us just have a look at the pic of these dances. So on the left side you can see that the Bhangra is being performed, and on the right side is Giddha. These both dances are performed in Punjab. The female counterpart of Bhangra is being performed on the left side of the pic. On the right side is Giddha. So the female counterpart of Bhangra is Giddha. But it's not compulsory that females will not perform Bhangra. Even females perform the Bhangra dance, but the female counterpart of the dance is called Giddha. And Giddha is usually performed by females only, whereas in case of Bhangra, even the females perform Bhangra. Now coming from Punjab to Uttar Pradesh. Two important folk dances of Uttar Pradesh are Ras Leela and Dadra. So first of all, coming to Ras Leela. Ras Leela is a folk dance of Uttar Pradesh. In this, adolescent stories of Radha and Krishna are enacted through this dance. So as you can see in this pic, Radha and Krishna are being shown by the performers, and they are enacting the roles of Radha and Krishna. Now coming to the second dance, that is Dadra. Dadra is a semi-classical dance form of UP. The classical dance form, as you must remember from the earlier video that I posted, that was Kathak. So the semi-classical dance form of UP is Dadra. Do remember this thing, because you don't have many semi-classical dances, and this is a very important thing. This might be asked in the exam, that which of the following is the semi-classical dance form of UP. Do not confuse between Ras Leela, Dadra and Kathak. Kathak is a classical dance form, Ras Leela is a folk dance, and Dadra is a semi-classical dance form of UP. Please remember this thing. Now moving on from UP to MP. So two important folk dances of MP are Jawara and Matki dance. Jawara is the harvest dance of MP, and this word Jawara comes from the word Jawar. jawar is a cereal that is grown in MP. So on the left side you can see this is a jawara dance, and this is being performed by the people of MP. The second dance form is matki dance. Matki dance is performed by women in MP and Malwa region. It is usually performed solo. This is a very important point, that matki dance is performed solo and usually performed by the women. It has two variants, Ada and Khada Nach. But you don't need to remember these both variants because this might not be asked in the exam. This is just for your knowledge. The two variants of matki dance are Ada and Khada Nach. On the right side you can see the matki dance. So you can see over here a performer has balanced some matki or pots on his head and is performing solo. So these two dances are performed in MP.
Now coming to the next dance form, that is Gaur Maria. Gaur is basically the Hindi term for Indian bison. So on the left side of the screen you can see an Indian bison. So in this dance form the movement of this animal are emulated, and secondly the costume also has horns of this animal as an integral part of this dance form. So this dance is called Gaur Maria. So on the right side you can see over here the performers performing this dance, and as you can see on their heads they have horns that are in the shape of a horns of a bison. So this dance is performed by the bison horn Maria tribes of Chhattisgarh. Remember this thing. This is the third tribe that we are discussing in the case of folk dances. The first was Bhil tribe of Rajasthan in case of Ghumar. Second was the Kalbelia tribe in case of Kalbelia. This is the third tribe that we are discussing in case of Chhattisgarh. So in this dance, the performers imitate the movement of a bison. Remember this thing, that the dance which is linked to a bison is Gaur Maria. Now the next dance form is Alkap. This Alkap is generally performed during the Gajan festival of Lord Shiva. The second thing that is important is that mythological stories based on Lord Shiva are performed through this dance. This dance is performed mainly in Jharkhand and West Bengal. Do remember this thing, that Alkap dance is performed in Jharkhand and West Bengal. The singers that are sitting just behind the performers of the dance are called Gayans. Now we can just have a look at this pic. Over here you can see that four performers are performing this dance, and there are some singers that are sitting behind the performers. These singers are called Gayans. Do remember this word Gayans. This is very important. This can come in the exam.
Now we'll discuss some dances that are performed in Bihar. First dance is Biraha and the second is Jat Jatin. So what is Biraha? Biraha is basically a Sanskrit word, and the Hindi meaning of this word is separation ya judai. So this dance actually shows the pain of women whose husbands are away from the home. Another variant of this dance is Bideshiya. Bideshiya is a word that shows someone that is away from the homeland. So Bideshiya is a term taken from the word Bidesh. So Biraha and Bideshiya are usually two interlinked words, and they are both the variants of the same dance. This dance is performed mainly by males of Bihar. Do remember this thing, this is very important, that this dance is performed only by males and they are dressed as women. On the left side of the screen you can see this is a Biraha dance. You can see over here three males dressed as women performing this dance. The second dance is Jat Jatin. This dance is also performed in Bihar. This dance actually shows the love and quarrels of the couples. On the right side of the screen you can see the dance that is Jat Jatin being performed by the performers. Over here in this pic you can see there are three couples and they are fighting amongst themselves. So Jat Jatin actually shows the love and quarrels of the couples. The next important dance form from Bihar is Paika. Remember one thing, do not confuse this Paika with the Paika revolution. Recently Paika revolution was in news, but that revolution was done by Paika's community of Odisha. So remember this thing, this dance is not related to that Paika revolution, and this dance is performed in Bihar. Now coming to the type of dance, this is also martial dance. We had discussed another martial dance in the earlier slides, that was Chow dance. So this is the second dance that is a martial dance. So Paika is basically a term for a long spear, and shields are also used in this dance. Now let us have a look at a pic of this dance being performed. So over here you can see that the performers have shields as well as spears in their hands, as well as some spears have been laid down on the ground also. So you can remember this dance from the spears and the shields. The next important dance form is Danda Jatra. Danda Jatra is popular in Odisha. This is the second dance from Odisha that we are discussing in this video. The first was Chao dance. So remember that two important folk dances from Odisha are Danda Jatra and Chao dance. Generally the theme of this dance is based on social harmony and brotherhood. This dance narrates the story about Shiva. Now coming to the important dance form of Assam. The most important dance of Assam is Bihu. This Bihu dance is performed during the Bihu festival. An important feature of this dance is the brisk hand movements. You can see the hand movements in the pic also, that is being shown in the bottom side of the screen. So over here you can see the performers are wearing bright dresses, and the both male and females participate in this dance. Coming to another important dance of Northeast, that is Thangta. Thangta is basically martial dance of Manipur. So till now we have discussed one Chao dance, which was a martial dance. Second was the Paika dance, which was also a martial dance. This is a third dance, that is a martial dance. Now the Paika and Thangta have something in common, that is spear. The Paika meant spear. Similarly over here Ta means spear. This also shows a mock fight sequence between the performers, and this fight scene is enacted as a dance. So over here in the pic you can see the performers are having swords and spears in their hands, and one of the performers has shield also. So do remember this dance is very important. The trend recently from the UPSC has been that they have asked a lot of questions from Northeast dances. So do remember these dances from Northeast. Now moving to next important dance form of Northeast, that is Rangma or the bamboo dance. This is basically a war dance of Nagas, and over here in the pic you can see the performers holding the bamboos, and on the left side you can see the performers performing the dance. Now we'll move from the Northeast to the South. So this is in South, an important folk dance is Kumi. Kumi is a folk dance of Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Before discussing the dance, let us have a look at the pic. In the pic you can see some of the kids performing this dance. The peculiar thing about this dance is that the kids are clapping their hands while dancing. So this is an important feature. Let us see how this is an important feature of this dance. There is no music with this dance, and it is performed by women only. So if there is no music, how are the beats created? So these beats are generated by clapping. That's why the performers in this pic are clapping their hands. So this is a very important feature of this dance, that there is no music and the beats are generated by clapping. Do remember this point. This dance is performed during the Pongal festival. The second important dance form that is performed in both Kerala and Tamil Nadu is Mailiyattam. So this dance is performed both in Kerala as well as in Tamil Nadu. Before discussing the dance further, let us have a look at the pic. So what is peculiar about this pic? The peculiar thing is that women have worn the dress which is in form of a peacock, and this is the most important feature of this dance. Do remember this thing, that in this dance girls dress as peacocks, and so therefore this dance is also called a peacock dance. Remember this other name for the dance, Mailattam is also called as peacock dance. Now let us move from Tamil Nadu and Kerala in the south to Andhra Pradesh. So two important dance forms of Andhra Pradesh are Burra Katha and Butta Bomalu. So Burra Katha is also called Jangam Katha, and it is performed in Andhra Pradesh. In this, single performer narrates the stories from the Puranas. So on the left side you can see the dance being performed by the performers. There is nothing important to be learned about the description of the dance. You just need to remember that Burra Katha is performed in Andhra Pradesh, and it is also called Jangam Katha. The second important dance form is Butta Bomalu. This dance is also performed in Andhra Pradesh, but one important thing about this dance is that over here also artists wear masks and they look like toys. So on the right side you can see the costume that is being worn by the performers. Now this is the third dance where masks are being used. The first was Kathakali in classical dances. The second was Chau dance of Odisha that also had facial mask. This is the third dance, that is Butta Momalu. Over here also facial masks are being used. But the important thing about along with the mask is that toy-like shapes are being used in this dance. I mean the performers, when they dress up, they look like toys. So this differentiates them from the other two mask dances. Now coming back from Andhra Pradesh to Kerala. Earlier also we had discussed two dances from Kerala, but those dances were performed in Kerala as well as in Tamil Nadu. This dance, that is Kai Koti Kali, is performed only in Kerala. You don't need to remember a lot of details about this dance. Just remember that this dance is performed in Kerala and it was performed during Onam festival. The next important dance from Kerala is Padiani. So this dance form is performed in Kerala. This is also an addition to the martial dance. Earlier also we had discussed some martial dances. That was first was Chow dance, the second was Paika dance, the third was Thangta dance. So this is the fourth dance, martial dance, that we are discussing. Do remember these things. The second important feature of this dance is huge mask being worn on the face. These masks are called columns. This is also an addition to the huge to the mask dances that we have discussed till now. The first was Kathakali in classical dances. The second was Chau dance in folk dances. The third was Butta Bumalu in the folk dances, and this is the fourth mask dance that is being performed in Kerala. The next important dance form is Kolkali Parichakali. This dance form is performed in Lakshadweep and Kerala. The important feature of this dance is Kol. Kol means stick and Paricha means shield. So stick and shield is used in this dance. They use mock weapons made of wood. The actual weapons are not used in this case in this dance, as was the case in Paika or Thangta. Over there actual weapons were being used, but over here weapons made of wood are being used. The next dance that we'll discuss is from Karnataka. This dance is called Bhoot Aradhana. So as you can easily know from the name that this dance has something to do with the ghost or the devil, because Bhuta is the Hindi word of ghost, Bhoot. So this dance is performed in Karnataka. In this dance, devil is worshipped. So over here in the pic, you can see that the person is dressed as an evil person and he dances as if he is being possessed by a evil spirit. So this is an important feature of this dance. Do remember this dance because this might come in the exam. Next important dance form is Pata Kunitha. This dance form is performed in Mysore, and in this dance form long bamboo poles are used. So over here you can see in the pic that long bamboo poles are used and these poles have been covered with colorful clothes. So this is an important feature of this dance. The next important dance form is Taranga Meal. This dance form is performed in Goa. It is performed during the Dashera and the Holi festival. The important feature of this dance is use of rainbow-like costumes and multicolor flags. In the previous slides, I have already discussed most of the important dances and their features also. Now I have given some of the dances in which the features are not very important, but still if you need to go through these dances and the region in which these dances are done. For example, for Jammu and Kashmir, the three important dances are Damali, Dumhal and Spaw. For Gujarat, Dhamhal, Gop stick dance. For Goa, Dekhni and Fugdi. The next is Maharashtra, Pavri Nach and Dangi. Rajasthan, Tera Tali and Gir dance. For UP, Swang, Charkula. For Uttarakhand, Pandwa Nritya, Barada Nati, Chanchedi. For Madhya Pradesh, Fulpatti, Grida. For Chhattisgarh, Pandwani, Raut Nacha. For Bihar, Kajari and Jhinjia. Similarly, dances for Odisha, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram and Tripura and Sikkim have been given in this slide. So you need to do one thing, just make notes of these dances and their regions, because these might not come in the exam, but UPSC can do anything, so you cannot take chances. Just jot down these dances and remember from which regions are these dances. The second important thing is that in earlier slides also I have given some of the dances which was from different regions. Just try to group all these dances at one place and try to remember. This way, this it will be easier for you to remember all these dances and their regions. The most important thing in these dances is the region. That is the area in which this dance are performed. The second important thing is the kind of dance it is. For example, if it is a mass dance, it's a martial dance. So this is the second important thing. The third important thing is the name. Suppose there are some dances whose other name was peacock dance. So you must remember this thing. So these three things are very important and they might be asked. The fourth thing is the features. For example, in one of the dances we discussed that it showed social harmony and brotherhood. So chances are less that that might be asked, but still you can't take chance. So whatever is given in this video, just try to make notes of that and try to remember this. So thank you everyone. The, so with these two videos, the first one was for classical dances and the second one was for folk dances. We have covered the dances topic. Now I hope this will definitely help you to prepare for your competitive examination, be it UPSC or be it any other competitive examination. So if you like my video, please do subscribe to my channel, that is Enroute IAS, and also please visit my website, that is enrouteias.com. I will definitely come up with more videos in future. First I will be covering the culture part of the UPSC preparation. So I will be coming up with paintings and music after this. After covering the culture, I will be covering the polity and geography part. Please, if possible, please share my videos on your Facebook page or maybe Telegram channels. This will definitely help me motivate and help me give my best in future.